from BSN2-A1. For today, I am going to cook gastrointestinal soft diet. Gastrointestinal soft diet is a diet that is prescribed by the physician for the patient. It could be before a procedure, after a surgery, or for a medical condition. Gastrointestinal soft diet consists of low-fiber diets and carbohydrates and protein for a patient in order to help the gastrointestinal system. This will help the gastrointestinal system work less so that the bowel or the gastrointestinal system may be able to heal. So for today, the recipe that I will be cooking is mashed potatoes for the appetizer or carbohydrates. And I will also be using this chicken breast for the protein. And I will use the chicken breast to make a shredded chicken soup. And for the drink, I will be making a ginger ale. And we are going to have an apple for the dessert, and we are going to peel it because the skins of fruits and vegetables are not allowed for the soft diet. So first, we are going to cook our mashed potatoes. The mashed potatoes will serve as the carbohydrates for this diet. We also have to make sure that the carbohydrates of the diet for the patient should have less fiber. So potatoes have lesser fiber, and it also contains carbohydrates and starch for the patient. This allows the patient to have enough nutrients but at the same time have low fiber for bowel healing. So first, we have to make sure that our hands is clean. So we already performed hand washing and hand hygiene. And now we're going to proceed by turning on the stove. We are going to add about 2 cups of water. So we are going to let the water boil for about 5 to 10 minutes. And we are going to season the water with a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. So I am using white pepper. So we are going to wait for a few minutes until this boils, and then we are going to add our potatoes. Now that the water is boiling, we are going to add our potatoes. We need to make sure that the potatoes will be well done and soft because we are going to mash it afterwards. We are adding the potatoes. We already cut the potatoes into small pieces and we washed it to keep it clean. So let's just let it soften for a few minutes. And while we wait for the potatoes to cook, we are going to peel the apple for dessert. Peeling the apple will help the patient digest the apple properly, and this will help ease the gastrointestinal system. So for GI soft diets, the patient cannot eat the skins of fruits as well as vegetables. The patient also cannot eat vegetables that are raw or hard. For example, vegetables like carrots. But the patient can eat vegetable that is cooked and soft and well done. So I am just peeling the apples so that our patient will be able to consume it. I am using a peeler. Now we have peeled the apples, and then we are going to slice it into smaller pieces. I'm going to use this knife. also going to remove the core of the apples so that we will have these pieces for our patient. So we're going to remove this. So we have bite-sized apple pieces for the dessert for our soft diet. It is ideal to have a riper apple so that it will be much softer and easier for the patient. After 10 minutes, the potatoes have already softened, so we're gonna test it using this fork. So the potatoes are already soft because we are able to poke it with the fork. We're gonna take it out. I'm gonna use this fork to take out some potatoes. I'm gonna put it in a bowl. So we're gonna choose the potatoes that are soft enough to be mashed. Now that we already have enough potatoes for one serving, about 1 cup, we're gonna turn off this. We're going to transfer these other potatoes. And then we're gonna replace it with another water. Before we are going to start mashing our potatoes, we are going to turn on this pan so that we can prepare it for our next dish for the protein. So we're gonna turn this on, we're gonna let this boil. So we are going to mash these potatoes. I'm just going to use a fork to mash it. The potatoes are already soft enough to be mashed. For the mashed potatoes, you can add some cream or cheese. It can be added to the soft diet. But for this recipe, we're just going to have a plain mashed potatoes and we're only going to season it with salt and pepper to taste. Now that we have finished mashing our potatoes, we are going to add some salt. About a pinch of salt to taste. And we are going to also add some pepper. It is good to add some seasonings to our dishes so that it will increase the appetite of our client. So we're going to use this spoon to mix it all up. Make sure to mix it well. So this will serve as the carbohydrates for our soft diet. Now we are going to add this here. And we are going to add a little bit of rosemary, and that is our mashed potatoes. So while waiting for the water to boil for our chicken, we are going to start with our ginger ale for the drink of our patient. So we're gonna boil about 2 cups of water. We're gonna let it boil. And then we're gonna use this mug to out our ginger ale. And while waiting, we are going to skin the chicken breast. So I chose the chicken breast because it is one of the most tender parts of the chicken. But we need to skin it first because chicken skins or skins are not advised for a GI soft diet. So we're going to skin this. Now that we have removed the skin of the chicken, we're going to add it to this boiling water. We need to cook the meat in a well done manner so that we will be able to shred it in order to make our soup. So we're going to let it cook for about 5 to 10 minutes or until it's tender. So our ginger ale is brewing here. So if the water is already boiling, we're going to add our ginger. We're going to wait for a few minutes. I'm going to check it. So now we're going to add our ginger. You could add some lemon or honey for the ginger ale, but for this recipe, we are just going to use ginger. We want to make it as organic as possible. So we're going to let it brew for about a minute or two, and then we're going to pour it in the glass. So now that a few minutes has passed, about 1 to 2 minutes, our ginger ale is ready, and we're going to add it to this mug. Ginger ale will serve as the drink for our soft diet. Ginger is not very rich in fiber, but it is rich in antioxidants, and it will help the bowel or GI tract to recover. So it will serve as our drink. Now that our chicken has finished cooking, we are going to put it in this bowl, and we are going to shred it for the soup. So here is the chicken breast. I'm gonna turn off the pan, and then we are going to make our shredded chicken. Now that we have finished shredding our chicken, we are going to proceed in making the shredded chicken soup with some summer vegetables. So we're going to replace our water, and we're going to come back. Now that we have finished shredding our chicken, we're going to turn on our stove, and then we are going to add our chicken. And we are also going to add our summer vegetables. So make sure that you choose the vegetables that are not high in fiber, and you also need to cook it properly so that it will be soft and easy to digest. So we're going to add our summer vegetables. So this will provide nutrients to the client, but at the same time help the gastrointestinal system to recover after a surgery or before a procedure. So now that we have added the vegetables, we're going to add our shredded chicken. You can add more water if desired, if you want to have plenty of soup. So we're gonna add a few, about half a cup of water. Then We're going to let it simmer for a few minutes or until the vegetables are tender. Now that the soup is already simmering, we're going to add a little bit of canola oil. This is a non-GMO oil, and we're gonna add a little bit for the additional fat or lipids for our client. So we're gonna add about one tablespoon. We're gonna mix it a little bit. We're going to check if our vegetables are tender. So they're almost done. So we are going to add our egg. This will give additional protein to our soup. Add this egg. And then we are going to stir it. The egg helps thicken up the soup, but at the same time provide additional protein and fat to the diet. It's almost done. We're just going to season it with some salt and pepper. So this is about a pinch of salt. And you can also add some spices if you like, but do not choose spicy spices because it can trigger acid reflux. So we're just gonna add some oregano for taste and some white pepper. We're gonna mix it all up and simmer it for about a minute. Now that it's done, so we can see the chicken is cooked, the egg is cooked, and the vegetables are tender. We are going to add it in this bowl. Turn off the stove. And then we are going to add the final part of our GI soft diet. So this is the final product for our cooking. We have bite-sized skinless apples, mashed potatoes, and we have a shredded chicken soup with some summer vegetables and egg. And for the drink, we have some ginger ale. So this is a complete gastrointestinal soft diet because we have some carbohydrates, protein, and some fat from the egg and the oil. From the egg and the oil. So that is all. I am Lazarraga from BSN2-A1. Thank you.